Another long week, quick week. Again, we say it every week. They're very fast. No shortage of things transpiring in the district this week, from Monday's mask mandate from K through 5 to additional school closures throughout the week. I tell you what, let's just start from the first of the week, and then we'll work our way down to where we are today, and that is what was passed on Monday, the mask mandate from K through 5. Feedback from principals, how's it gone so far?
It's been fascinating because, again, we always solicit feedback from our principals regardless of what situation. And Monday night, we placed the mask requirement for K through 5, simply not only as a precaution for our youngsters, but also to minimize exposure, whether it's the staff and then exposure between our students. But our principals were pleasantly surprised because parents have been hugely supportive. And some even saying, why did you wait so long? And we've tried to explain that, this is not something that's been widely embraced initially, but we are seeing more and more support that whatever we can do to mitigate, the spread, because we're seeing much of it is coming into the school and then the exposure takes place. Is this a surefire guarantee? Absolutely not, but whatever we can do to minimize that exposure and that risk. And then the other thing too, that principals also shared that, we extended a grace period for the week because yes, it was short notice, but we had to implement quickly, but also be understanding and sensitive as far as, because it would be a huge adjustment. But the majority of our students came in with masks or requested a mask or a face shield because they didn't have one at home, which again, not only is it encouraging, but parents know that we're doing our very best to protect their children. We have a lot of grandparents that are sort of that aftercare, and some of them are the primary care for students. And so again, it's a consideration, but if you look at some of the results or the research that's coming out right now, in the last 2 weeks, they're talking about where they're seeing that from age 40 to 69 being the greatest risk right now with COVID. And when you look at our average age among our teaching staff, support staff, and then as you said, as far as looking at those that are the caregivers for many of our children, they fall within that age group. And again, every precaution we can take, why would we not want to?
Right.
Why would we not?
You and I have already been contacted by multiple people that an impending district-wide remote shutdown is coming on the heels of all of this. And you're here to say, not so fast. Talk about that.
And again, and this is something, Bart, that I've said from the very beginning, as long as we can maintain as far as adequate staff, we will be able to go school by school, case by case. We have one situation that we've not advertised, but we have 2 classrooms in a 3rd grade that we just closed the 2 classrooms.
Correct.
So we monitor every day. We're evaluating where we are. Do we have adequate staff? And that makes the decision. So that's, as long as we're able to do that, it's going to be school by school. And again, we're quickly approaching the holidays, and so the window becomes narrow. And I know that there's been some advisement from parents and others, just go ahead and shut the whole system down between now. Every day that we can keep a school open, we're going to do so. But it's all about staffing. And in a couple of our schools, particularly to the latest, it's not only staffing, but it's also we're seeing an increase in student illness. So
we have a board meeting on Monday night.
Yes,
and
the December meeting.
The December meeting, regularly scheduled, and we're going to be doing some safety talk during the work session at 5 o'clock. So
yes,
you want to expound upon that about what will transpire in the safety talk on Monday night?
The work session Monday, December the 7th at 5 o'clock is going to be solely dedicated to looking at safety and security protocols within the district. And much of this is really, I'll just go ahead and say it's triggered by an incident that occurred at Green Hill High School a little over a month ago, where an individual came into the building posing as a student, and went through the temperature check, came in with a mask,
right,
and processed through, and obviously there was some concerns, and And then as we recognize as far as what had occurred there, what can we do to make sure that this doesn't occur again? All the protocols that we used and had in place prevailed. However, one of the glitches, again, that fell through as far as it was the lack of communication that went out to parents. And we own that.
Right.
We own it. It generated a lot of concern, rightly so. And so this is a good time to not only present to our families, but also our public, that we won't go into details as far as our safety and security plan, because there's a reason why it said, but what is the process? What does that go through? But also our very close working relationship with law enforcement, whether it's the Sheriff's Department, which covers the county, or Mount Juliet Police Department, Lebanon Police Department, Watertown. We have a very good and strong relationship, to even that when there are practices as far as whether active shooter roles or how to lock a building, whatever it might be, we work together. And I think that's something that the public needs to see, that not only do we take it seriously, but it's one that how can we improve?
Okay, Dr. Wright, thank you again for your time on this Friday. I know it's been another busy week. We hope you stay healthy. We hope everyone stays healthy as we kind of continue on and navigate through this pandemic. It's certainly been a lot. Has anyone asked how you're doing lately? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, teachers ask, principals ask, and I'll have to say that there's also been some parents that just reached out and wanting to make sure that I'm staying healthy. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, don that mask and get out there. And I will have to say, I have added to my collection of masks. So I thank, because some parents have sent me some really nice Dr. Seuss or some custom made masks, and I appreciate that more than I'll ever know. But yes, staying well, but it's one of those that a lot of things happening at the same time, so we all have to take care of ourselves. And I'll have to say, this is the first time in many years that there's not been a whole lot of emphasis and question on snow. And we had a snow the other day, and it was like, okay, I'm getting ready for the calls, and nothing happened.
You're exactly right. I think everyone was so focused on what else is going on around the world. I think the snowflakes seemed a little bit of like, a little serene. Yes. Something.
It calmed. It calmed. And there were precious pictures floating around as far as, some of our youngest children that had never seen snow before. Yeah. And who would have thought? Yeah. So that's kind of nice, because that's usually where I get slammed. I did not make the right call for snow.
Well, again, thanks for the time, and we hope you have a good weekend. We hope everyone has a good weekend, and we'll certainly catch up with you again very, very soon.
And please stay tuned for our work session on Monday night.
5 o'clock. It'll be on our live link, and I'll make sure that that's posted on our social media channels so people can watch. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Wright.